A seasoned competitor proves to the world, and more importantly himself, that he is still young at heart. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I just have one question for you. Are you nervous? Let me explain. You see, we just had the culmination and completion of the Esports World Cup for Street Fighter 6. This is a multi-leg event which featured players from all over the world fighting to qualify for months to be one of the top 32 players to enter into the final Esports World Cup bracket, which had 32 of the best players from all over the world competing for life-changing prize money. Yeah, this Esports World Cup is sponsored by the Saudi Arabian government, so do with that information what you will, but they're throwing around big money for esports titles of all types, including a $1 million+ prize pool for Street Fighter 6. And we've already covered days 1 and 2 of this event on the channel, so if you haven't seen those recaps, please go check those out as well. And we are finally on the final days of this event, and in the first 2 days, we went over the groups of Phase 1, where they split it into 2 different days, featuring the best big names like Punk, the EVO 2024 champion, MenaRD, one of the most consistent players of all time in Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 6, BigBird, the EVO runner-up, and just tons of household names in the world of Street Fighter. But after the Phase 1 groups winded down after 2 days, we were left with these players moving on. Gachikun, Ryukichi, AngryBird, Problem X, Noah the Prodigy, Kakadu, XiaoHai, and Dual Kevin from day 1. And Hikaru, Chris Wong, Kowano, Tachikawa, Leshar, Bonchan, Higuchi, Moke in day 2. And you might have noticed I didn't mention those 3 names I mentioned earlier. Punk, MenaRD, and BigBird, 3 of the favorites. In fact, you can see here the talent predictions. Every single person who tried to predict one of 3 players would potentially take the whole thing or go far, they all mentioned Punk or MenaRD or BigBird or all 3, like Rob TV and Justin Wong here, putting down Punk, MenaRD, and BigBird. All eliminated in day 1. Not even just day 1, but I believe they all went 0-2 as well in their groups and didn't make it out. In fact, at this point, the only person who had any predictions with a chance to actually succeed is James Chen, who didn't mention either of those players, but has BigBird, Gachikun, VX Bao, and BigBird and Gachikun are moving on in the groups to Phase 2. And with that said, we now have the next phase of groups. You can see here we have Gachikun, Dual Kevin, AngryBird, Kakadu, the Prodigy, Problem X, XiaoHai, Ryukichi, and the other players mentioned grouped together. But look at this first group. Group A. Titans in this group, and 1 Dual Kevin sandwich between them. Gachikun, 3rd place at Capcom Cup 2023 in Street Fighter 6. Won the CPT Singapore event for Street Fighter 6 as well. He's a Capcom Cup champion, winning in 2018 for Street Fighter 5. Kakadu, the reigning champion for this event. Remember, he played in Gamers 8 the year before, the precursor to the Esports World Cup, and won with his JP over this guy, the EVO 2023 champion, who got 2nd place a few weeks later at Gamers 8 to Kakadu. So these are 3 of the most consistent Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 6 players on the planet, and there is Dual Kevin, one of NA and USA's last hope, who was on a historic run getting through the LCQ over players like Momochi, Shuto, Kobayan, the Zengi player who dominates Topanga League in Japan, Daigo, and then beating both MenaRD, eliminating him from the tournament, and Zhen back-to-back to get into this Phase 2 groups. Well, that said, we have, first off, the Clash of Titans here. The Gamers 8 Grand Finals run back, where AngryBird was poised to take the whole thing after a dominant EVO performance. But Kakadu showed up, showing off how powerful JP and perfect parries can actually be. Kind of changed the view of perfect parry in the Street Fighter 6 meta with that tournament. But here we have AngryBird on set point with this Ken over Kakadu. Kakadu does a drive reversal into the corner. Wake up back throw after the offensive drive reversal to maintain corner pressure. Kakadu is actually trying to bait out a reversal here. AngryBird uses the immediate throw attack as a gotcha option. Said, hey, don't try to bait my DP. Worry about my wake up throw. Back throw back into the corner. Kakadu on the verge of being put into burnout. Gets the anti-air demon flip on the demon flip. The anti-air DP on the demon flip escape. Excuse me. Goes for the stand fierce here, expecting the stand fierce to actually be blocked and put into burnout. Kakadu parries the first hit, but not ready for the second when the DI wall splat occurs. Gets the pickup here from AngryBird. Level 2 conversion to force the burnout. Kakadu, are you ready with the super on reaction to get the DI punish? No, you are not. The DI occurs, the stun happens, and AngryBird with a dominant performance over Kakadu after also putting Dual Kevin into the loser side, gets out of this group in winners. And I'm sorry to say for Dual Kevin, even though I was rooting for him, one of USA's finest, he ends up being eliminated along with Kakadu himself because Gachikun showed up to this bracket. AngryBird beating both Kakadu and Gachikun two of the favorites, in my opinion, to go extremely far in this bracket. He's just looking absolutely unstoppable at this moment. Moves out in winners. Gachikun gets by on the loser seed, which is still in winners. It all resets every time you get out of the groups. And Kakadu, the reigning champion, is eliminated. And Duel Kevin, the dream run, comes to an end. But moving on to the next group. Problem X, Noah the Prodigy, XiaoHai, and Ryukishi. Ryukishi, the man who actually put Punk out of the tournament with a very strong performance. And Noah the Prodigy, Noah the Burnout, the man that no one expected to get this far because they don't believe that he's as good as he really thinks he is. But you know what? He's here to prove people wrong. You can see here, here's Noah versus Problem X, and Noah dominated Problem X in this set. We have Noah here at set point, working on a 3-0 in Burnout, where Noah is strongest, maintaining the corner, the spacing here. Problem X gets the anti-air. He's about to be able to secure the guaranteed stun. No super meter on the side of Noah the Prodigy, but Noah finds the challenge, controls the space, gets the button. 3-0 over the EVO 2018 champion, Problem X, and Noah the Prodigy moves on to day 4 in this group. For some reason, they didn't complete the phase 2 groups on day 3. They did part of them and completed them on day 4. That makes Noah the Prodigy the only player from North America and US of A to make it into day 4 of Esports World Cup. Noah is officially the best performing player out of all of NA, including players like Punk and MenaRD, at the Esports World Cup. Who would have believed it? Well, Noah would. Noah would. In fact, here's Noah's response when asked earlier in the day how he approaches tournament nerves. Let's hear what he has to say.
In the studio, the lights are on you. You're about to put hands on the sticks and hands on the man. Are you actually nervous?
No, I don't get nervous. No.
I don't get nervous.
No. I've been traumatized from my childhood, so I don't get nervous. I don't play with emotions. My hands don't shake. That's for the softies.
We're in the studio, the lights are on.
The commentators could only laugh. That's for the softies. Listen, I'm my softest they come then, because those tournament nerves, they hit even the best of the best. I've seen all your favorites, their hands shake in those tense moments, but not Noah the Prodigy, because he was traumatized in childhood. How can you even respond to that comment? Noah, he shoots it straight, he speaks his mind, and it shows in the gameplay. But another man that might not be nervous is XiaoHai. He's the one who asks if you are nervous, if you know the lore behind that one. But here he is up against Noah the Prodigy. 2-2, but XiaoHai is up around here on set point. Noah the Prodigy in Burnout. He thrives in Burnout, but even Burnout might be too much against corner pressure from XiaoHai with his dominant Ken. He's getting harassed by the Jinrai. The final OD Jinrai comes out, overhead connects, and it's a perfect to eliminate Noah the Prodigy from the tournament after a historic run. Noah, you have nothing to be ashamed of. You should be absolutely proud of how far you've gone in representing USA. The #1 player in this event from North America is Noah the Prodigy with his own eclectic style. So big props to Noah for doing it big for himself and US of A. But XiaoHai takes it over him and moves on. And we can see here the final results of Group B. Ryukishi, dominant performance in this day. He had the 3-1 win over XiaoHai and then 3-1 over Noah himself. XiaoHai fought back on the loser side, taking it over Problem X, and then 3-2 over Noah the Prodigy as well. Staying alive with close sets is XiaoHai, 3-2 in both of these sets here. But then we have the next group of day 3. We have Kowano, the EVO 2022 and CPT Japan 2023 champion. Moke, one of the most consistent players of all time, rocking Chun-Li in Street Fighter 6. Hikaru, the 19-year-old upstart from Japan, the only Aki player of the whole bunch, and Bonchan, legend of the Street Fighter scene at this point, now using Akuma. And I want to highlight this set here with Kowano versus Hikaru. Hikaru now in set point in the first of 3. Gets the OD stabby hands on the air punish to get the ground bounce pick up with the poison proc. Finds the low connect. Pops the poison there to get the combo extension. Gets the full knockdown. Lays down the poison. One potential mix away. Delay drive rush overhead connects. And that is a perfect for Hikaru to move on over Kowano. Remember, these delay overheads are so deadly because if you tap parry and there's no button putting you in a block stun at this point and you release the parry, you actually are forced to block high-low legit. During parry recovery, you can cancel the guard. but it doesn't automatically block high and low like when you're holding parry. So if you are in this position, you need to actually react and hold back. If you hold down back, which is what happened to Kowano here, you get hit with the punish, counter, drive rush overhead. They get a juicy combo on that. And the delay stagger timing nullified the effectiveness of Kowano's perfect parry attempt and gave him the win in this set. So Hikaru is moving on in this group. You can see here actually the full results. Hikaru 3-1 over Moke at that point, and then the 3-1 over Kowano. So big wins to Hikaru there. Kowano also took a very close 3-2 set over Bonchan to get into that winner's position. Bonchan fought through against Moke and then lost another 3-2 to Kowano 2 times, losing 3-2 in extremely close dramatic sets in the Kumamir. Very entertaining sets, but Bonchan unfortunately is going home with Moke, and Hikaru and Kowano are moving on to the final phase. And here we have the next group, Group D of Day 3, with the Ed boys in there, Leshar, who is now my favorite Ed player, and Tachikawa rocking Modern Ed, the only Modern Ed of the whole bunch, the only modern player of the entire bracket, making it to Day 3. Chris Wong, the Capcom Cup 2023 follow-up, runner-up, I should say, and Higuchi, the best Gala player of Japan, making his case to be the best Gala player in the world, the only Gala player making it this far, taking big wins over the competition. And at this point in this group, Higuchi's up 2-0 with dominating wins over Leshar. Actually, it was very close with Chris Wong, 3-2 to Chris Wong. Leshar actually took a 3-0 win with Classic Ed over Tachikawa's Modern Ed at first. But then, due to the meddling of Higuchi here, we actually ended up with a run back. So Tachikawa first has to get through Chris Wong. You can see here, 2-0 over Chris Wong. Gets the check on the drive rush. Combo conversion to the corner. Strong stagger throw to bait out the parry from Chris Wong. Level 2 comes out, sets up the checkmate, gets the chip. 3-0 finish with Modern Ed over the Capcom Cup runner-up Chris Wong. And if that wasn't shocking enough, he has to do the run back versus Leshar in the Ed Mirror. And how does this go? I called Leshar to potentially take this whole event after I saw his performance on Day 2. I was absolutely astonished with his situational awareness and conversions. But here we have Tachikawa up 2-1 on set point over Leshar. Leshar here trying to fight out of the corner. Throw loop situation. Backdashes the second throw. It's time for a dream. The dream combo. He gets the desync right there. Gets the proper stagger DPs. All the proper conversions here. Spends the level 1 extension. Gets the corner-to-corner conversion. Final guess situation. Pulls in for the plus frames with the flicker, and Tachikawa lets it rip. The charge flicker pulled him in. He had the plus frames for the final throw situation. Either one of these players were going to die in this interaction right here with this amount of life, and Tachikawa, he had a game to spare. Decided to risk it. Goes for the OD reversal, and Modern Ed Tachikawa takes it over Leshar in the run back, eliminates my favorite to take the whole event in Phase 2 groups, and moves on to the top 8 bracket with Modern Ed. The upsets keep coming. Modern can't stop winning. So yeah, here you have the full results here. Higuchi and Tachikawa moving on. Leshar and Chris Wong are out of there. And that sets the stage for our top 8. And really nice graphics they have here with all the players involved in this top 8. And here we have the actual rundown of the matches. AngryBird, the EVO 2023 champion, up against Modern Tachikawa's Ed. Ryukichi versus Kowano. Hikaru versus XiaoHai. Higuchi versus Gachi-kun. And if you notice, mostly a Japanese affair besides AngryBird and XiaoHai. AngryBird representing UAE and XiaoHai China. It's all Japan. Has order been restored to the Street Fighter universe? You know, they say this game is random, but some things don't seem that random here to me. And just a reminder of what these players are actually playing for. Remember, this is big money on the line. They are all automatically secured an 8th place finish. $45,000 secured in the pockets of these players. Win one match, that's an extra $30,000 to your prizing. Win another match, that's an additional $65,000 to bring the total to $140,000 and a guaranteed 2nd place finish. And then grand finals is a $160,000 money match. It is now first to 5, single elim from here on out. So the stakes are higher than ever before in terms of monetary gain. So with that said, we have an EVO champion versus Modern Ed. I could not believe my eyes. After tying the set 1-1, Tachikawa goes on a 3-game streak over AngryBird, with his modern ed, and you can see the frustration building. Here we are, 4-1, Tachikawa up over AngryBird, and just I want you to watch how the rest of this set plays out. Gets the combo knockdown. Walk in meaty invincible reversal on AngryBird's wake up to bait out any option. Final potential round here for Tachikawa. He gets the driver stagger. Shimmy on AngryBird. Gets the throw punish into the combo. Converts to the corner. Jump shimmy on AngryBird. He wakes up Tex again into a throw bait. Full combo. Now he eats the throw. Tries to jump out of the corner. Modern crosscut DP. And the cross up. The pressure. The Oki. The RPS. AngryBird just looked extremely flustered during the sequence, especially after that meaty DP connected. You could not guess right on any one of these interactions, and I could not believe it. This man cannot stop taking down my favorites. After I called Leshar to be my favorite to take the whole event, the next person I had on my list was AngryBird. And Modern Ed, Tachikawa piloting Modern Ed very effectively, took out both of these players. And it's very interesting his playstyle. It seems like for the most part, he's not using too many modern techniques. But you can see here for sure, modern DP could help in this kind of a situation and a late crosscut DP scramble, especially with a very slow uppercut like Ed's. And also just the ability to react super with level 3 on a dime forces players to play different. But he's just very effectively utilizing a few high-level modern techniques, but mostly piloting classic for like 95% of the rounds. Very interesting strategy from Tachikawa, going much further than I would have called originally. And AngryBird is eliminated, tied for 8th place. Next up, though, we have Ryukichi versus Kowano. Ryukichi, the person who eliminated Punk on day 1 and had a really great run, taking down tons of top players up against Kowano. We have our first final game, final round. Remember, this is a $30,000 round on the line. The winner of this round secures an extra $30,000. So all you got to do is win one more round to Street Fighter 6, something these players have done thousands upon thousands of times before. But are you nervous? Let's see. Ryukichi gets his shimmy called out by Kowano with the Abare crouching medium kick. Safe jump gets perfect parried, takes the turn back. Kowano decides to go into burnout on his own terms with the OD DP punish on the Jinrai, holding the corner. Dive kick. Conversion off the jab with no drive rush cancel available in burnout to the level 2. The difference between $30,000 is this interaction right here. Demon flip dive kick is plus on block if it hits low enough. The frame advantage varies based on the height that it lands. In the heat of the moment with $30,000 on the line, can you tell if this hit high up enough on Ken's body to be negative or neutral? It's very hard to tell. I almost thought that this was a negative dive kick. Kowano recognized the spacing and applied it perfectly here. This dive kick was plus on block, so he gets the counter hit jab in this moment. The frames here made all the difference. That jab landed first on Ryukichi right there, and Kowano had the perfect jab conversion. Just the awareness there to convert into level 2 in that moment is absolutely spectacular. $30,000 extra goes to Kowano, and Ryukichi is eliminated at 8th place. But had a really great run. I think really made a name for himself as well to the wider Western world, because I think that the people who watch Japanese Street Fighter know how strong Ryukichi is. But he had a really great run. So hats off to him, Kowano. Moving on. And next, we have possibly my favorite set of the entire tournament. Hikaru versus XiaoHai. XiaoHai, 35 years old, a seasoned professional, KOF god, longtime Street Fighter dominating competitive player versus a 19-year-old just getting his kind of sea legs ready for the international stage here. And here we have Hikaru up 3-2 against XiaoHai and on one round away from bringing it to a 4-2 lead, which would be devastating in a first 5 set. Gets the Serpent Lash anti-air. Drive rush low, take throw, back throw. Throws the fireball, laid down the trap to get the anti-air fireball conversion with the full juggle. Converts it expertly. This is some Aki main knowledge. And the interesting thing about this, if you watch the rest of the set, XiaoHai was so perfectly threading the needle between these fireball patterns that Hikaru was throwing out. He always managed to find the perfectly spaced jump to get over the fireball, but not be close enough to be in range for Hikaru to anti-air with Aki. This was the very first trap that Hikaru laid, where XiaoHai actually finally landed on the fireball itself. And of course, he's ready with the full conversion. Brings the set to a 4-2 lead for himself. But that's when the seasoned competitor might have a better handle of the mental game. Here we have Hikaru on set point up against XiaoHai. They each have a round apiece. XiaoHai trying to fight back. Low drive meter situation. He gets hit. He has level 3, but he drops the combo. XiaoHai in the scramble puts himself in burnout to try to take his turn back. But then with it all on the line, reversal level 3. He was in negative frames. He figured Hikaru tried to keep the pressure going. Gambles his tournament life. He was done for if that level 3 is blocked. It connects instead. He takes a slight life lead. Footsies with the sweep. Empty jump low is blocked. Gets the Jinrai conversion. And Hikaru cracks. Medium Serpent Lash right here. He for sure, I believe, just meant to do reversal level 3. It didn't work out. And XiaoHai fights off a set point there from Hikaru and stays alive to make it a 4-3 game. Now, we have yet again another set point for Hikaru. A round apiece to both players at a 4-3 score right here. XiaoHai has the corner, plus frames on the stabby hands. Expertly blocked out by XiaoHai. Gets the corner pressure, one throw. Shimmy, it lands. And XiaoHai is asking the young man, are you nervous? He fights off another set point from Hikaru twice now. He's been on the verge of elimination by this young player, and twice now he's fought and survived, and now we get to a final game situation. And not only a final game, final round situation where XiaoHai is down to his last 20% life, and Hikaru has a superb life lead and nearly 3 bars of super. Hikaru goes in, safe block string pressure. XiaoHai finds the counter hit Jinrai and just builds the level 3 to get the CA. This means that Hikaru is going into burnout right here, right now. Are you ready? Do you have the defense in the corner while in burnout? Jabs out of the Dragon Lash, doesn't get the anti-air juggle pickup. Low 4 Jinrai connects. Harassment in the corner with the safe block string pressure. OD Jinrai, final interaction. Empty jump, stagger, jab, and XiaoHai, after being on elimination point 3 times in a row, brings it all the way back to win 5-4 final game, final round against Hikaru. And there you can see the difference between the young competitor and the seasoned veteran. Hikaru is eliminated, also tied for 8th place. After a legendary run, I feel like if he got through XiaoHai, there was a high likelihood he might have taken the whole thing. He was looking extremely dominant. It just seemed like composure in the final tense moments is where he faltered. And XiaoHai is just, he's been in this position for these stakes and or higher many times before in the past. And XiaoHai ends up taking it. And also in the final, first to 5 in the first phase of top 8, Higuchi versus Gachikun. I don't really have a highlight to show for this. Higuchi had an amazing run, but Gachikun just too solid. 5-1 set here for Gachikun. Takes it pretty convincingly, I would say, over Higuchi. And Higuchi, while he did a lot of work this whole bracket, goes out in 8th place with, a little bit of pocket change to his name. He shouldn't be ashamed of that whatsoever. Therefore, we have the semifinals coming up. And we finally have Tachikawa versus Kowano. And what do you know? Another final game, final round situation. Will somebody stop the reign of terror of this modern player? I'm actually very, very impressed with Tachikawa's run. I would not have called him to be in a position to be fighting for grand finals of Esports World Cup with his modern ed. But here we are. So let's see how this plays out.
It's a lot of damage, man.
Flicker to pull in. On +4 for Ed right there. Kowano not afraid in the face of danger. Reversals with crouching medium kick. Overhead target combo. And for $30,000, do you level 3? Tachikawa does. $30,000 wake up level 3 right there. It doesn't go his way. And finally, the modern Ed and his reign of terror taking out Leshar and AngryBird back-to-back. My favorites. His reign of terror is put to an end by Kowano. But a really amazing run to Tachikawa, really showing off the power of his strategy with modern Ed. That 95% classic, 5% modern take on the characters is actually very interesting to me. And he had an amazing run here. But his run comes to an end here. And you can see here, Kowano is taking glee in crushing his metal here to signify his end. But he doesn't just crush it. He snaps it. He snaps it. I think there might have been one other metal break the whole tournament earlier in day 1. But yeah, he finally avenges the favorites that Tachikawa took out. And he's like, what are you doing? No, this is too much. No, how could you do that to me? The modern Ed curse has finally been broken by Kowano, and the final and only modern player is eliminated, tied for 4th place. But what does Kowano have to say about this after securing his position in grand finals, securing $140,000 and the ability to fight for the chance to win $300,000 from this tournament? Here's what he has to say.
Also, with the Japanese community, we're very close. We play against each other quite a lot. So, however, recently we didn't make any results, the Capcom Cup or something like that. So this time I'm glad that me or Gachikun is gonna win it. No, I'm gonna win it. Also,
I like the confidence. Me or Gachikun are gonna win it. No, I'm gonna win it. That's a very good way to build up your fellow good 8 squad teammate and Japanese companion right there. However, I don't know if this was smack talk or he simply forgot, but Gachikun is not guaranteed in grand finals. He has to get through one more opponent, a man who refuses to be defeated. Of course, I'm talking about XiaoHai. This man was 3-2 in groups multiple times before making to this point, and then was on elimination point 3 times in a row to Hikaru, and is still staying alive to move through this tournament. And what does he do now? Well, he decides to switch to the M Bison in this set, and I want you to watch this moment here. You hear we have XiaoHai on set point against Gachikun.
He's back. He's touching grass again. XiaoHai's back in the game.
XiaoHai defending here. Gachikun working to tie up this set. Finds the full conversion. And the choke. Finds the conversion. Wait a minute. Gachikun, you have a life lead. Block the overhead. You're in burnout. What can you do here? He gets hit by the bomb. It's just sitting on top of him for no reason. Gachikun tries to press a button while the bomb is on top of him in burnout. That is death. That is a CA. Unscaled damage. And XiaoHai takes it over Gachikun. XiaoHai was dominating this set, and Gachikun was working on making a comeback here. And this combo drop was crucial. He does the most optimal conversion possible. Super scale because of the light starter does not end into super early. And then this fireball right here was meant to be a level 1 cancel, which would have for sure tied up the set and had the momentum heavily in Gachikun's favor after XiaoHai was up earlier in the set, and potentially could have changed the fate of history. But instead, he tried to be optimal. He dropped, and Gachikun falls to XiaoHai's M Bison with the comeback in the final round, and XiaoHai moves on to grand finals. And thus, we have the final stage set. Kowano, the EVO 2022 final Street Fighter V champion, Topanga League champion in Street Fighter V, the Japan CPT 2023 Street Fighter VI winner, top 8 Capcom Cup finalist versus XiaoHai. And this is very interesting because this is one champion with another. In fact, XiaoHai is one of the most winningest players of all time. He has so many EVO Grand Finals. I think he just forgets how many 6 he has. He has won Grand Finals of EVO 4 separate times for King of Fighters, the King of Fighters series. 1 time for KOF 13 and 3 times for KOF 15. Just recently as well, when Punk was winning EVO for Street Fighter 6, XiaoHai that same weekend won EVO for King of Fighters. And when you win EVO, they like to give you these golden arcade sticks to commemorate it along with the actual trophy itself. And he has so many of these that he doesn't mind playing on it. Here's XiaoHai just casually showing up at EWC with a golden stick. He actually played this entire tournament with one of his EVO golden sticks. I don't know which one. He has too many to count at this point, but he has so many EVO golden sticks from winning EVO that he doesn't mind actually using one as his daily driver for competitive play, which if that's not a flex, I do not know what is. But the thing about XiaoHai is that even though he is undisputedly the GOAT of King of Fighters, and even though he just recently won Street Fighter League Worlds with his Team Bandits with MenaRD, Chris T, and Kaba, many people would argue in that event that he was potentially, I personally wouldn't say it, but some people would say carried by MenaRD. I think it would be fair to say that MenaRD did a lot of the heavy lifting, even though XiaoHai definitely did his part. XiaoHai has been looking to prove himself in the world of Street Fighter 6. And in fact, it goes even further back because remember earlier in the Street Fighter League season for Season 1 of Street Fighter League USA, XiaoHai went up against Punk, and before their match, he asked simply, "Are you nervous?" Punk did not take that too kindly, proceeded to body XiaoHai in the matchup. I believe he got a double perfect as well, and had some very choice words to say to XiaoHai, including things like, "There's no way you can come to Street Fighter and beat me at my game as a part-time player." He's a KOF player, not a Street Fighter player. Well, in that season. XiaoHai, I think he had the last laugh because in one of the finals matches up against Punk's team, he actually took the time to go up against Punk himself for the run back. And this legendary moment was born. Gets the stagger jab, convert, slams down the headphones. Are you nervous? Repeats himself. Are you nervous? This time he gets the W, and the rest is history. Team Bandits goes on to win Street Fighter League USA and goes on to win Street Fighter League Worlds. And but still, he had still more to prove. And you can see here, even when he qualified for the Esports World Cup at DreamHack Sweden, his qualification match was over Punk de God. While both of those players qualified for Esports World Cup in that tournament, XiaoHai got in through winner's top 8 by beating Punk in the first of 2 set. And here's his post with this sign showing off his qualification to the Esports World Cup. Are you nervous? He asks again. Because you see, XiaoHai for years has been an incredibly strong Street Fighter player, even since Street Fighter 4, winning many international majors with world-class talent from Japan and Asia in attendance. And in Street Fighter 5 as well, he's a Street Fighter 5 champion, especially early on in 2016-2017, has major titles in Street Fighter 5. But still, it feels like the world did not quite respect XiaoHai's talents as a Street Fighter player. KOF God, undisputed best in the world for many, many years now at KOF. But in the world of Street Fighter, people still viewed him as an outsider, someone who played the game part-time, who couldn't really win the biggest events with the biggest players in attendance. And that had a bit of an impact on XiaoHai, a chip on his shoulder, where he wanted to prove to players like Punk and from people all over the world, and to himself more importantly, that he has what it takes to win in the game of Street Fighter, a game that he's been strong at for so long, but not really, I would almost say, as respected as some of his other peers in that game over the years. Well, now he has his chance. So here we have grand finals between Kowano and XiaoHai, a game apiece, but XiaoHai up around here in Burnout, trying to fight to survive. Excellent win punish here from Kowano, push to the corner. DI on deck. You see XiaoHai, he's buffering, he's jiggling. But Kowano didn't believe it. He tried to fake out the DI with a few normals, but XiaoHai responds appropriately with the level 2, gets the side swap. Good block on the overhead from Kowano, backdash before tapping it in from XiaoHai with the stand MK to get the first lead of the set, up 2-1 over Kowano in the grand finals. Moving on here, XiaoHai takes another game and finds himself with a perfect on the board, on the precipice of making this a 3-1 lead over Kowano. Gets the throw in the corner. The meaty connects. Kowano just holding up on hit right there. Gets converted. And XiaoHai not only brings his set to a 3-1 lead over Kowano, he does it with a double perfect. He's asking the question, are you nervous? Because I am most certainly not here. And here we have 3-2 XiaoHai versus Kowano, a round apiece. Kowano fighting hard to tie up this set. Drive rush into scissors to bait out the attempted check from Kowano, gives him a full punish counter. He blocks the DP. Optimal heavy kick starter from XiaoHai. You can see the super meter being built, puts itself into burnout in the process. But this is huge damage on 9k health Okuma. Is he going to kill? A pixel left. And then ODDP from Kowano. Look at this attempt. Fakes the demon flip into command grab and catches a jump away with the DP. Playing the neutral is Kowano. He's in chip range, but a bar super to his name to interrupt any kind of potential advancing move. XiaoHai is the first to recover from burnout. One OD Cycle Crusher will spend the end of the round, but XiaoHai doesn't overextend. He maintains composure, allows Kowano to come out of burnout. He just needs to tap it in. One single touch will do it. He's not taking any risk, not risking a DI getting perfect parry, not risking a jump or anything. Playing this the old school fashion footsie's way. Pressing the buttons now, the long range jab and stand MK, and there it is. Works hard for that sliver of health to take it away from Kowano. Taps it in with the stand MK to bring it to a 4-2 situation for XiaoHai. And now XiaoHai on set point. One round away from proving to everyone that he is of the best, not just in KOF, but of the best fighting game players on the planet and a multi-game champion. And here XiaoHai is on tournament point in burnout, fighting against Kowano. Gets the buffer to scissor kicks to break the DI, finds the counter hit conversion to plant the bomb. Kowano tries to dash and throw, gets checked by XiaoHai, puts himself in burnout. in order to get some offense and push there with the last bit of drive meter. XiaoHai has him in the corner. Any DI will do it. Will Kowano be ready? He is not. The DI connects. XiaoHai keeps the combo simple into the level 3. And XiaoHai, the king of fighters, gives more credence to the title and becomes your Esports World Cup champion. Takes a moment to gather himself before the celebration and the reality sets in. And here we can see how much this moment really meant to him. As, you know, we saw the medal gimmick throughout the whole tournament where every player had their medal crushed when they were eliminated from the tournament. XiaoHai has now earned the right to take his medal out of the frame with tears in his eyes, secure it into the trophy, lock it in to mark this Esports World Cup trophy as his own, and overcome with emotion. He's able to finally hoist the trophy up, and he is the champion. Beautiful moment, beautiful moment. But more so than that, it's what he has to say about this moment for himself.
My name is XiaoHai. And when I play the game, I'm just 6 years old. XiaoHai, it means a little kid. And now I'm 35. Too many people say I'm older, I can't win anymore. But today, I prove myself. Oh, yes. Yeah. Thank you, EWC. Thank you, Eworld.
XiaoHai means little kid. He started playing when he was 6 years old, 35 now. People told him he was too old to win. But today, he proved himself. Saying it with his whole chest there, XiaoHai has proved that he's still able to win, and not just win in King of Fighters. He just won EVO a month ago for King of Fighters, but to prove that he can do it in Street Fighter and the, you know, let's be honest, and the series where I think there's the most elitist attitude in the FGC about it being the premier place to compete in fighting games, and it has the most prestige and attention from the world. Just the way things currently are, XiaoHai has proven to himself and the world that he is among the best of the best, and there's no way you can take that from him now. And with that, we have one champion to another, the EVO 2024 champion, Punk. Giving props here to XiaoHai. I'm happy for XiaoHai. Funny Chinese people keep messaging me when we squash our beef this week. Proven that they tried to put it behind them. They've had some choice words for each other. But game recognized game from one champion to another. They got to show respect. And for XiaoHai, I think he's finally proved not only to himself, but the world that the kid still got it. And that's all I have for this recap here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think about XiaoHai's performance and the Esports World Cup. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.